Hi everybody. That we're looking at just now is Fartwick's Castle. Now, I know why I'm here at the moment, but I do plan on taking a walk up there after I film this video, and I will probably film a walk up there and a bit of the history of Fartwick's Castle when I get up there. But while I'm here at the moment, I'll just zoom out. I am stood in what used to be the forecourt of Barnhills Tower. Barnhills Tower was built at roughly the same time as Fartwick's Castle in the 16th century, and it was owned by the same clan that owned Fartwick's Castle. Now, a little bit of the history of the place. In 1545, a few years after this place was built, it was raided and burnt to the ground by the English army. And in 1549, the place had been rebuilt, and after it was rebuilt, it was appointed one of the guardian towers of the River Teviot, guarding against the English army coming up the river so that they could invade Scotland. Now, if I zoom in here, you should be able to see that's the River Teviot there through those trees. I'm 2 fields away from the River Teviot, and the road is in between the 2 fields, and it's lined by those trees there. So, zoom out again. Now, in 1604, there was a guy named, and he'd owned it for the second half of the 16th century. But in 1604, it was owned by a guy named Hector Turnbull. Hector Turnbull and his men, especially Hector Turnbull, was a well-known reiver and outlaw in the area. He was known for his vicious raids over the border and into Cumberland. Now, towards the end of the 16th century, they were finding their raids becoming more and more restricted. And by 1604, they were really restricted in their raids, and they decided to come up with a plan. The raids were restricted by the captain and governor of Newcastle, who gave much resistance towards Hector and his men. Now, Hector and his men decided that they were going to go over the border and lead a very vicious raid and get the men to come back here with them, so they could hopefully slaughter them. And that was how it happened. Now, during the raids, they were met with reprisals for the governor and his men, and they made their escape with their plunder. But on their way back here, they were quickly overtaken by the governor's men, and they were cut off. Now, when they were cut off, Hector managed to escape on his own, and unfortunately he had to escape on foot. He lost his horse, and his men that were with him were left behind. Now, he decided on his way home he needed to take paths to get here, which would be very hard for horses to follow, if not impossible. So he took those routes, and on his way back, the governor let loose his bloodhounds to follow him, and Hector decided to cut himself. He cut his arm and left pools of blood in places to get rid of the scent off his footpath journey, and to try and trick the dogs. Now obviously that wasn't successful, but somehow or other it slowed them down, and he managed just to make it back here. Now when he got back here, he gave orders to his men here not to shut the gate behind him. Now when he got in here, he basically gave orders, shut the gate behind the English when they get here. And when the governor and his men got in here thinking they had managed to capture the place, surprisingly turned around and found that they had been trapped. The gates were locked behind them and they couldn't escape. So when they were in this tizzy, the man Hector himself had climbed up to the top of the tower, and when he got up there he gave orders to his men, I want you to shoot them. So they started to shoot them with their bows and arrows, and down to the last man having arrows in his body. Hector and his men decided to come down and finish the job off, and they come down to the forecourt and they slaughtered the men, all of them begging for mercy for their lives. Now they killed them, the last man, and for this they were totally outlawed by the English army. Now all that's left of this place today is the ground floor. As you can see, looking up there, it has been much higher. I can only assume that it was the same sort of height as Fat Lips used to be. Now I've come out here to the open part of the tower just to let you see what's here. Now if I look around, I'm stood, there's some steps down here. Now I can only count 3 because of the foliage and the branches that are there, but I'm assuming there's 3 or 4 of them. Now I don't know if this is part of the walls or part of the barrel, part of the ground floor where they would keep their stock and their supplies. But you can see just from there, you can see some stairs there that would go up and round. They would take it the first floor and further up. Now I can't quite make it out, but it looks like that might have been a fireplace there. I don't know, I can't quite make it out because it's totally overgrown. But as I've just shown you, I'll go back in again. I'll show you the half of the bit that's still covered with the barrel roof. And it's got quite a beautiful overgrowth of ivy on it. As you can see, some gun slots there and windows there. Another gun slot there, another one there, and another window there. And quite a nice little example of what's left of the roof here. Now, if you are taking a walk out to Fat Lips Castle, it's only another 5 minutes walk down the road. And the walk up to Fat Lips Castle, if you go through the field, is much easier from here than it is to go up the Fat Lips entrance and up and round the hill, because that's quite a muddy path up there. So yeah, don't overlook this tower. It was owned by the same family, both back then, and I think today as well. I think Lord Minto owns this bit of land as well. I know he did at one point. I know his estate isn't quite as big as it used to be, but the Turnbulls were bought outright by William Bennett of Chester's in 1628, and the lands were finally sold to Gilbert Elliot, who at that time in 1797 was Lord Minto, and I think the family still owns the land today. So right, I'm gonna finish this video just about here, and I'm gonna take myself over the burn and I'm gonna walk up to Fat Lips there. So I thank you for watching this video. I will film a walk up to Fat Lips. So anyway, I thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it hasn't bored you. And if you have enjoyed the video, then please press the like button. And if you've enjoyed, you might want to press the subscribe button as well. It will help the channel. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Thanks now. Bye bye.